Engineer, we are more bizarre question. Be say, Argentina contractors be a coin. Now what lifespan? Not even before the end of the lifespan, no. Aquano, not a tutu. Sakwan, ye, and chair, and Tebani saying.
The empathy in our
You can't first light. Echo, a friend saying, Sakaman. First light, Sakaman. That stretch. At the intersections, the various intersections, we do article junction, article Nancy on Bay. Nancy an article on Beguso. And how can we have the same situation there?
Okay, my papa is so much with you for near Momo show Facebook Live on the power. My making comments be several times, and I know they never share. Once I share the beer, or the beer, vibrant or status, and then me status in the Facebook, and it was I Twitter. I can say there are a lot of needless, the word is underlined, needless asphalt overlays being done in Accra and by states in the whole country. But this time, second you are Obia Chinehumi, we should not sit down and allow government to decide at their own discretion to just do any populist thing. Over here, asphalt overlay, let me say any road, like example, the Omaina. You have been falling with diplometer test. Falling with diplometer test. Machine be the fact I know so. Now I say, quite a person the asphalt and start to sono. Now one did not say if it is about maybe a couple 1 year, what can we do to extend the lifespan of the one we are coming to put on? So if you don't prepare the existing route before the asphalt and everything under you can say the existing road defect would reflect on the new one you are doing. That's the bottom line. Because the asphalt now is a flexible material, a flexible paper, any rigid, any motorway, any concrete, so whatever is underneath the existing road, on the existing road, or the new asphalt, it will just reflect it on the new one. That's the bottom line. And secondly, almost all our intersections, our Accra, almost everywhere, you need to have all the T junctions, 50 meters for the T junction and exiting onto the main road. I was say started use the new method. I said, someone say at that junction you need to put pavement blocks because you are turning at 90 degrees onto an existing road. The traction between your vehicle tires would heave the road, and it will happen everywhere in the world. So when you are having a T junction like Ufi or Doko, and Ufi, any of the junctions on the Kwanaoka from Accra, Akade, Kwakudu, Makati Hills, now all the T junctions, if you don't start to improve like 50 meters before you get to T junction, you have to introduce rigid pavement. It's either concrete or pavement blocks. But I prefer pavement blocks because when they are defect now, you can come and isolate the small pavement blocks. No around me, I say no outside there. What place them back? So that we can make some savings because the money that is going into roads now. See, if we can go to IMF and whatever. If we don't take care of our roads, we're going to be in serious problem. And like I say, so let's government say if they are going to do any asphalt overlay in all roads in Accra, we should have resource of the tests they have done on the existing one to give us the design, outstanding and I say remainder of the lifespan of that existing road before we allow them to put any asphalt on the road. If we need say or say write it to the Ministry of Roads and Highways or under the urban rules to request for reports, technical report as to why they are putting an overlay on any roads now. We have to start doing that as a country. And this is not political. And then so we program now my cameras from Pukwasin Tajin, we and Asiano. In Kakra could be about 3 kilometers before you enter the toll booth and you abandon.
Yeah.
You can count over 20 heavily loaded trucks sitting on the pavement, on the shoulders and part of the carriageway every night I pray that the next morning we should not hear of any station vehicle but running into it. How many months ago you say Cape Coast Kwan so in front of UCC, a vehicle ran into a station vehicle.
Yeah.
So who are those responsible? And now we have abandoned the toll booth. Sadly, we are not taking that money, legitimate money that government demands, deserves to use for expansion. We judge it because of some populist idea. Just to go to Parliament, abolish a legitimate process, introduce e-levy, all in shambles. And now the toll booth has been abandoned, and over 20 trailers at every time T. You get there right now this morning. When I'll send you videos and pictures out 2 days ago. And I tweeted on my Twitter handle at Mahama_Abdullah. It's just there right now. Say, who is responsible for our roads? The roads are being constructed well, and we're allowing foreigners to exert static loads on our roads, destroying the roads. And if you're not lucky, in the night, vehicles will run into them because almost tie back or carry you anymore. Then you can even display it on your social media handle as you are doing the program. It's so pathetic. People are paid and they are using V8s. The least amongst them is using a 4x4 Toyota Hilux. Every month, dragging our fuel, drawing our fuel, giving tips to go and get fuel at selected filling stations. And this is scattered across the country.
Engineer, maybe some question for you. The intersections, that vulnerable. What makes the intersections, that area, let's say 100 meters to the intersection, or just at the intersections, vulnerable, sir?
Yeah, there are two things. Static loads. The vehicles, when they get there, they have to wait. When the vehicle is moving or reflecting load easily, the loads are not static at a point. My mom is typical example. You watch Kaukudi Junction, 737 intersection.
Yeah.
Before 15 meters to the traffic light, if you decide to move from one lane to the other lane, I won't say bubble.
Yeah.
A talk. Because the road is heaving to the wheels of the tires, the load. That's been my suggestion. Say, once you know, say the cars are going to be stationed for like maybe 15 seconds, 30 seconds, their loads are now they are called dead loads. The loads are exerting perpendicular to the road. The road is experiencing a load, and otherwise a load that was carried. Now the second one is that when the vehicles are loaded with that weight now, when they are turning, because air 90 degrees, they are not in a smooth transition. Say, Ufi Dubai interchange, slip it down.
Yeah.
It's F.
Yeah.
You are moving at a radius. So it's like more or less, the car is still in a straight transition.
Yeah.
The wider your radius, the less the defect. But at the T junctions, you are turning 90 degrees to the road you are standing on. So your tires are now exerting load on the road, and they are turning traction. They are turning and heaving the material away. That's any rocket science. Anywhere in the world, if you have T junctions and the T junctions are not improved to withstand that load by using rigid pavement like concrete or pavement blocks now, almost every now and then we are the best. Whatever it is, when you keep on turning at the junctions, you have the heaving of the material because they are all flexible material. It's simple. So if can as a country, all our T junctions in Ghana should see the pavement block is maybe slightly expensive than that one by maybe 2%. So if I'm going to do a junction, let me say junction here, 10,000 Ghana cities, and that will fall in about a year. Now, I start here Porto Party every time, remedial works, and I can spend 11,000 Ghana cities. And for the next 10, 15 years, I have no business coming to do any repair works. Which are you going to take? It's as simple as that. So all T junctions to be introduced with rigid pavement than a flexible pavement. When we do that, we don't have any issue. A typical example, and Kwabenya roundabout hono. Ufi atomic now towards Kwabenya hono. Ufi roundabout kesena go filling station hono. Almost every time they had to come and repair the place. But I think about 4 years ago, me making some comments, and then I saw that the whole roundabout has been introduced the pavement blocks. You won't see any defect for the past 4 years at the junction. That's simple. And that's what we have to start doing as a country. Otherwise, I am saying people know that when they don't do the right work, and I say assemble, and I say SIA, they will be the same who will contract their fellow friends and cronies to come and do the repair works at the expense of the citizenry the taxpayers' money.
Engineer, on a normal day for highways like the ones that we are talking about, what's the lifespan of such roads?
Most of the roads are done within 10 to 15 or 20 years maximum. It be range from 10 until after 10. What it means is that some of the roads should be able to stand at least for 10 years if they are asphalt. Now, asphalt, after 10 years, the only reason why your roads would extend beyond their normal lifespan is when you are doing proper, regulated, routine maintenance. Yeah, but for me, I'm not say I'm coming on UK, on land down. I will be the next morning. We will not say, yeah, correction, yeah, chat potholes, and then before me come the pastor will say, oh, say I'm chat be square B, and another time good.
Yeah.
No, I'm repair.
Yeah.
Now, I see these things are coming. I've seen over the years that, and listeners should take me well and listen to me. Not I'm not exempting any word from what I'm going to say. Successive governments are using our monies to the district assembly common fund and the MPs common fund. Now, some of the MPs and the district assemblies, at their discretion, do some pothole improvement within their areas to improve the road quality. But they do that at the fact that they are using some of their party foot soldiers. The pothole patching is purely technical. Semi-common pothole patching is a very circular. I need to come and cut the whole place up, cut the radius well, be able to get a thickness that will be equivalent to my compacting machine. Say me compact the book and so on. I was saying to me, say pot on 1 meter and because 30 cm. I was going to cut more than 30 cm to get the width of my compactor. So that when I compact now, it will be even. So when I put the bitumen and say asphalt now, so now, and do when I say would drive and not at all. But most of the things are being done in the peri-urban areas, our district, by a lot of them are foot soldiers. And we need to desist from that moving forward. Otherwise, I've seen some of them which are done in 2 months, they go back, they come back and do them again, they go back, because you are not technical to do that work. Your MP, your district chief executive has just isolated some 3, 4, 5 people who have some care. They are going to do some bitumen. I've seen them before. And when we are pushed, we'll mention names. But this is not the time. I'm just telling you that this is what I've seen over the years because we are only concerned as citizens of the country. And the more, and don't ever think, say, the MPs or the MC, say, and discretion, so the money belongs to him. The MPs common fund is not the MPs generated fund. It is part of you and I, our money that has been brought to the government, and he has taken a minute portion to the MP to work with it. So it's your tax, it's my tax. So everybody who's listening to Happy FM this morning, start to ask your MPs or your executives that who are those doing the pothole patching? Are they qualified? Are they technical men? Or they are foot soldiers who are in the party, some constituency executives who are being given a reward, and then within 2, 3, 4 months, the roads go bad again, and now at a point, now government has to come in because you have messed the whole place of the road. And if you don't do the pothole patching very well, you are undermining the integrity of the major road itself. Because what I mean is, if you are aggravating the situation, you now expect the technical men to come from the top hierarchy, and that's when you are going to destroy the road. What's that kind of way? Now, if you don't, I say now Aban has to come and do the whole road again because of the method that has been created by the MCs and then the MPs in the places.
Engineer, you better also pay